Rightio, welcome back to your next lecture on DNA. So far we've looked at that DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. We know that it's found in the nucleus of all cells, and we know that it has a twisted ladder shape which we call a double helix. And that double helix is made up of a sugar and phosphate backbone, and there are 4 bases which make up the rungs of the ladder. Adenine and thymine, A and T, which bond together, guanine and cytosine, C and G, which bond together. Today we're going to look at the job of DNA. What is its function? Now, the function of DNA is simply a set of instructions. Or, like some people have called it before, it is a recipe. Often called the recipe of life. So, how does this ladder create instructions to create life? Well, basically what happens is that inside each cell, in the nucleus of each cell, is where the DNA is found. And what happens is the instructions don't get put out as one big hit. They actually come up in lots of little sections. So what will happen is that part of DNA, called RNA, which is basically a small section of DNA which is only one-sided. So we've got only one side, one pair over here. Part of that DNA will come out of the nucleus and into the main part of the cell. And that'll actually go to something called a ribosome. Okay? Now a ribosome is basically a protein factory, which means this ribosome creates proteins, and proteins are the building blocks of our cells. So, in order to know which cells to make or which proteins to make, that's where the instructions come from. It comes from this order of your DNA. So, here's this DNA, which is a set of instructions. It comes outside of the cell into the ribosomes, and in the ribosomes, they collect the different amino acids, which I'm just signalling as jelly beans almost. These are amino acids. And the ribosomes collects these amino acids and puts them in order to make proteins. Okay, so we have all these amino acids which are all joined together in a particular order. When you have amino acids joined together in a particular order, you create proteins. When you get certain proteins, they will then join together to create more cells. And when you get all your different cells, they can create different tissues which then make different organs, such as bones, your heart, liver, skin, all different types of organs, which then all come together to create you. So, the job of DNA is to have the correct instructions so that the ribosomes can collect the right amino acids, create new proteins, which then make the cells, put together to make the organs and to make you. That is the job of DNA. The job of DNA is to make sure that the right instructions are being made, are being followed.